Nathan Beats.
What's up, y'all? This your boy, Mr. I-240. I'm back with another banger today, you know what I'm saying? On this beautiful Monday. Y'all, I just want to appreciate the love that the page been getting and stuff like that, you feel me? Yo, I love y'all, man. I miss y'all. You know, I love y'all. I miss y'all. I just dropped the episode other day. Go check out that Booker T channel. We almost at 900 subscribers, and y'all already know the 900 subscriber episode gonna be my main man, Kofi Mania. So y'all already know I'm get that pen and start writing, you feel me? So they get the 900 subscribers, you know what I'm saying? And I just want to continue to give y'all another banger. This banger here gonna be crazy. This is one of the most controversial wrestlers of all time. You know what I'm saying? This the only wrestler I know besides Brock Lesnar that stood up to Vince and wasn't going for none of his crap. You know what I'm saying? He was an asshole in the 90s. He got it his way. It's either his way or the highway, you know what I'm saying? And he did it his way, you know what I'm saying? You know, some of his ways got him in trouble for drugs and spiritual and stuff like that. But now he went from the asshole to, you know what I'm saying, Christian faith man. And, you know what I'm saying, he's I think he's the head creative dude on NXT. And of course, you gotta remember the famous song I mentioned in the last episode. Book. He made fun of the song. But the man I'm talking about, Shawn motherfucking Michaels. The guy who they say is the greatest performer wrestler of all time. That means he better than Ric Flair, Bret Hart. No, Bret ain't going for it. But Stone Cold, The Rock, Daniel Bryan. This is arguably the greatest, I'm not gonna say the greatest, but the best wrestler of all time. You know what I'm saying? When I ain't gonna front, when it came down to a big performance, Shawn Michaels did perform. You know what I'm saying? You can name it from WrestleMania, hell, it could be certain people, Unforgiven, goddamn, In Your House. Like, Shawn gonna bring it every night. Either he was on alcohol or on drugs or without it. You know what I'm saying? He gave that performance every night, but he was a very controversial superstar. But if you're new to the page, comment, subscribe, hit that notification button. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to continue to give y'all the bangers. And like I said in the last video, and I meant what I said. Because right now, I ain't going to cap. I'm on grind mode right now. I feel like I lost everything. You feel me? But I'm going to grind and give y'all content like, you know, Memphis Wrestling. Or might be a time I'll be surprised. Nigga be like, yo, you want to go to Nashville? You know what I'm saying? Or certain cities, you know what I'm saying? I'm just going to continue to give y'all fire content because I'm really a content creator. I love this and I'm definitely in grind mode. But hey, y'all know how we do for this channel. Gotta give the big man above thanks. You know what I'm saying? If it weren't for him, won't be no page. If it weren't for him, won't be no me, won't be no page, won't be no y'all. Man, let's get it cracking in this mud. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? So let's get it, man. We're gonna start out with my boy professional career. 1984, 1985. You know what I'm saying? Shawn Michaels began training under Mexican professional wrestler Jose Lothario. During his training, Higginbottom adopted the ring name Shawn Michaels. After training with Lothario, he debuted as Shawn Michaels. He debuted as Shawn Michaels in National Wrestling Alliance, Mid-South Wrestling Territory. On October 16, 1984, Art Cruz against Art Cruz. Losing to Cruz via neck breaker. That's when special moves were simple as hell, no cap. Michael performance impressed in his day. He was impressive in his debut match. Impressed many veterans such as the NXT trainer Terry Taylor. You know, that was the one that played the Red Rooster. He was a good wrestler, just couldn't get over. Why? I don't know. Maybe it was the game. Michaels made his televised debut in October 20, 1984, teaming with Jim Hornet in a losing effort against the team of Hercules and Dr. Death Steve Williams. In January 1985, he debuted at World Class Championship Wrestling in the NWA territory. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. In April 1985, Michaels went on to work with NWA territory in Kansas City called Central State Wrestling. And that's when him and Marty Jannetty had met back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Shawn Michaels was breaking into the business. I don't know if y'all saw the Dogs of the Ring episode. You feel me? Marty Jannetty, just looking around and they met. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it went. You feel me? So they had lost to the Batten Twins for the NWA Central Tag Team Championships, later losing it back to the Bay. So they won the belts and they lost them back. Then of course you got the Texas All-Star Wrestling, 85 to 86. After leaving Kansas City, he returned to Texas to wrestle for Texas All-Star during his time with TASW. Michaels replaced Nick Kingston in the American Breed Tag Team, teaming with Paul Diamond. Michaels and Diamond were awarded the TASW Tag Team Championship by Chavo Guerrero Sr. That's Chavo Guerrero, daddy, you know what I'm saying, from the legendary Guerrero family. All them dudes was cold. Apparently. I just know Eddie and Chavo, but you know what I mean. But so the team was later renamed American Force, while TASW, Michaels and Diamond feuded with Japanese Force. Then of course you got the AWA, you know what I'm saying? So this is when him and Marty Jannetty was really on. If y'all looking back behind the music, the girls was crazy. And they was partying like rock stars, like the Shop Boy. Partying like a rock all day. You feel me? Let's get it. Michaels made his national level debut as Shawn Michaels, as SEAN, at the age of 20 in the American Wrestling Association. And the victor over the Bokan on ESPN, he once again teamed with Marty Jannetty, billed as the Midnight Rockers, and that's when it took off. The Midnight Rockers won the AWA World Tag Team Championship, defeating Don Summers and Buddy Rose. Now, this was their first run right here. Been WWE the first run. So, the Rockers were signed by competing promotion, the World Wrestling Federation. That's when Vince was buying all the territory. He got British, but he was buying all. That's when Vince was taking out everybody. You know what I'm saying? The Coco B Word, the Junkyard Dogs. Everybody was getting signed for certain territories. You know what I'm saying? But they had messed up their first run 2 weeks later at a bar accident. Misunderstanding according to Michaels in the autobiography. Y'all remember that what happened, you know what I'm saying? Marty Jannetty explained in his episode of Dog Side of the Ring, you know what I'm saying? They was new, they were getting tested, and they partied like rock stars, and they got fired, you know what I'm saying? And you gotta remember, they had their redemption too, which I'm gonna lead up to, you feel me? But they signed, 2 weeks later, they had got fired for a misunderstanding according to Michaels in his autobiography. Then they returned to AWA, so they had to start back over and put in their work, you know what I'm saying? Used to this shit, you feel me? So right here, this one the redemption mode right here, 1988, 1992. The Rockers re-debuted at a WWF live event July 7, 1988, due to WWF Vince McMahon desire to have the guys. Michaels and Jannetty were renamed as simply the Rockers. The team proved popular with the children and women, as was the mid-card television pay-per-view shows for the next 2 years. During this time, Michaels headlined his first pay-per-view for the WWF when the Rockers was involved in the Phone Four match at Survivor Series on November 23rd, 1989, which they won. But you gotta remember, they had the controversy when they won the tag team title. We right here. On October 30th, 1990, the Rockers unofficially won the WWF Tag Team Championships from the Hart Foundation. As Neidhart, half of the championship team, was in the process of negotiating his release from the company. The match was taped with the Rockers winning the title, but soon after Neidhart came to an agreement with management and was rehired. The championships will return to the Hart Foundation. While the change was never broadcast or even acknowledged on television, the Rockers did successfully had a title defense on November 3rd, 1990 against Power and Glory, Hercules, and Paul Roman. Before the titles was returned to Hart Foundation, when news spread that WWF explained that the original result was void due to a collapse in the turnbuckle in the ring during the bout. A buckle had indeed been broken, but not notable of a dangerous event during the match. The Rockers continued the partnership, eventually splitting in December 2nd, 1991. But aired on 1992. This one, Sean. So, if y'all remember the controversy in the episode, it was people that felt like Sean was mistreating Marty. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't treating Marty Jannetty right. You know what I'm saying? So, the infamous night, they had got into it. You know what I'm saying? And they said Marty beat Sean ass. That's what they said. You gotta watch the episode. You know what I'm saying? Like they said, Sean gave Marty Jannetty that 2-piece in the biscuit. You feel what I'm saying? So that what led to the breakup. And you gotta remember too, when Marty came back at times and stuff like that, they gave Marty that trash ass gimmick of being the Rockers with Al Snoop. You know what I'm saying? So I think when Marty did come back to WWE, Sean wanted nothing to do with him. You know what I'm saying? You know, they had matches during that time, but you know, Sean was an asshole. What you want me to do? So they split up in 1992. Wrestling Channel during the incident on British Beefcake and one of the greatest segments of all time. You know what I'm saying? Michael's super kick, you know, that's when they had fake hug. I love you, bruh. I love you, man. You know, everybody thought Shawn, that was good. Hell no. What happened? Shawn Michaels super kicked that man, threw him through the glass on the window on the set of the broadcast, and the Heartbreak Kid was born. But Marty Jannetty did return to the WWF, you know, I think like late 90, early 93, you know what I'm saying? And they were supposed to do the match again. I think Marty got caught up with drugs again, you know, whatever Marty Jannetty would get, you know, in 92, they were supposed to have a match at WrestleMania. But Marty got suspended, you know what I'm saying, for drugs. Shawn Michaels got suspended that year too for steroids and all that, but they were like 93. But he ain't Shawn Michaels. Sorry, bro. So, Jannetty had returned to the WWF the following year of moderate success before leaving the company in 94. You know, Marty Jannetty had a decent run, you know what I'm saying? Because you got to remember, he beat him in 93, but I remember Shawn did some controversial stuff behind Marty back, and, you know, that he was being punished. So, Marty had won the Intercontinental Championship for a minute, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, they had a rocky friendship for years, you feel me? But, yeah. So, Michaels became a villain in the mid-1990s, and here you go. Then you got Kevin Nash, who he brought on, you know what I'm saying? Y'all remember, WCW Kevin Nash had some trash gimmicks, Mr. Oz, Mr. Wiz, and Benny Vega, and all that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't getting that push right. But Shawn seen something in him, you know what I'm saying? We forget to all that. Ooh. As a suggestion from Kurt Hennig, Michaels adopted the Heartbreak Kid. Along with his new name, came with a new gimmick. He was cocky, brash. You know, he was looking in the mirror and all that. He wasn't studying sensational shit. You know what I'm saying? He was like, I hold my mirror, bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was just like, hey, I'm me. You know what I'm saying? I'm the Heartbreak. All the girls like me, and I'm flashy like Floyd Mayweather. So he was put together with a murder-carrying manager, Sensational Sherry, who, according to the storyline, had became infatuated with Michaels. She was even, I think she was even on the first version of his song. You know what I'm saying? Sexy boy. During that period, after Michaels had wrestled in a scheduled match at live events, his departure was announced with Shawn Michaels has left the building, alluding to the phrase, have Elvis had left the building, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Elvis, man. One love, Memphis on, you hear me? So, right here. Nah, he wrestled Tito Santana at the first gen. He wrestled the tongue at the next jump because they was supposed to do the match with him and Genetic. And fun fact, I remember Macho Man wanted to put the main number, but Vince didn't. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But at WrestleMania 8, April 5th, 1992, Michaels defeated Tito Santana in his first pay-per-view match. After both men had simultaneously eliminated each other from their year at Royal Rumble. Michaels became a contender to promotion's single title and failed to win the WWF Championship from Randy Savage in 92. You know, when Randy Savage had beat Ric Flair at WrestleMania. He failed to win the championship against Randy Savage and he competed for the title at British event UK Rampage, held on April 19th at Sheffield Arena and broadcast on Sky Movies Plus. You know what I'm saying? The match later aired in the US. But Michaels this was the original ladder match in WWE. Michaels was unable to win the Intercontinental Championship from Bret Hart in the first ladder match at Wrestling Challenge taping on July 21st, which is subsequently made available on Coliseum and home video. Them tapes was lit. You hear me? Shout out to Coliseum tapes. Hulk Hogan was the reason I got into wrestling. I'm sorry. Sorry, bro. What you want me to do? You hear me? So, however, he did win the title from the British Bulldog on Saturday Night Main Event. You know what I'm saying? He won the Intercontinental title on Saturday Night Main Event, which was aired on November 14th. He faced Bret Hart in a champion versus champion match at Survivor Series. But he challenged Bret Hart for the WWF Championship at Survivor Series November 25th, but he lost the match. Originally, the secondary main event, Michaels and Hart became the primary main event after Ultimate Warrior was unable to compete and was replaced by Mr. Perfect in the tag team match involving Randy Savage. The team of Razor Ramon and Ric Flair. During this time, Michael and Sherry is split. He engaged himself in a feud with his former tag team partner again, Marty Jannetty. Michaels had lost the Intercontinental Championship on May 17, 1993, but regained it back on June 6th, thanks to Diesel. So, like I said, Marty Jannetty won the belt during the time because it was like a punishment towards Shawn, you know what I'm saying? And what else I was gonna say? So Warrior had got suspended for drugs, you know what I'm saying? Because I think they was gonna be the original main event at Survivor Series 1992, you know what I'm saying? But Warrior had got suspended, you know, because that was the Ultimate Maniacs with him and Randy Savage. That was actually a hard ass team. Them outfits was fresh as hell, no cap, you know what I'm saying? But let's get to it. In September 1993, Michaels was suspended for testing positive for steroids. You know what I'm saying? A charge he never admitted on WWF programs. His suspension was explained for having to neglected to defend the title often enough. After turning down World Championship Wrestling advice, I forgot he was signed to WCW at the time. Michaels returned to WWF and made several appearances at USWA doing a WWF USWA cross promotion. He returned at Survivor Series with Jerry Lawler. I think at the time Jerry Lawler had some charges against him, some SA charges, you know what I'm saying? And he had to deal with legal issues, you know what I'm saying? So it was Shawn Michaels and Lawler 3 nights against the Hart brothers, Bret, Bruce, Keith, and Owen. You know what I'm saying? That's when him and they was working on the Bret Hart, Owen Hart, you know what I'm saying? But Michaels entered a rivalry with Razor Ramon. Y'all remember Scott Hall had won the Intercontinental Championship. They had a battle royal on Raw, and then it was like the two people gonna fight each other. So I think it was him versus Rick Martel. That was the final two, and he became Intercontinental Champion. So Razor Ramon, who had won the vacated Intercontinental Championship during Michael's absence. Since Michaels never been defeated for the title in the ring, he claimed to be the rightful champion. Even carried around his old belt. The feud culminated in a ladder match between the two on March 20th, a classic match. Michaels lost the match, which featured both him and Razor Ramon, with the championships above the ring. They had the titles above the ring. The match was voted by Match of the Year by Pro Wrestling Illustrated. It received a 5-star rating from a tough critic, Dave Meeser. Man, Dave Meeser ain't giving everybody no 5-star, bro. I'm sorry. You gotta show him. For real, he a tough critic. You know what I'm saying? He's still critiquing that. You know what I'm saying? But over the next few months, Michaels battled injuries and launched his own TV show, The Heartbreak Hotel. But here go right here. On August 28th, Shawn Michaels and Diesel won the WWF Tag Team Championships from the Headstrikers Samu and Fatu. The next day at SummerSlam, Diesel lost the Intercontinental Championship to Razor Ramon by accident when Shawn Michaels accidentally super kicked him. And that wasn't the first time he did it. This triggered a storyline between them. A storyline was drawn out at Survivor Series, you know what I'm saying, when Shawn Michaels super kicked him again at, you know what I'm saying, Survivor Series. But during this time, the beef was up between Diesel and Shawn, two homeboys. Excuse me. Michaels won the 1995 Royal Rumble, January 22nd, 1995, which set up a championship grudge match on April 2nd against Diesel, who had, previously won the belt from Bob Backlund. Bob Backlund had won the championship from Bret Hart in a controversial submission match, you know what I'm saying, with Owen Hart, Mama, y'all know the famous line if you remember, Helen was crying. Damn. Poor Helen. Helen was crying. For me, I don't care, bro. I'm sorry, dog. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? But Diesel had won the championship as a part of the storyline. During that storyline, Shawn Michaels recruited Psycho Sid as his bodyguard for the build-up. But Shawn Michaels had lost the match. He was attacked by Sid the following night, which resulted into him being a face after, and then after that, Michael took time off. Then, of course, you got the Clique, boy. Woo! Wasn't nobody fan of the Clique, boy. Shane Douglas didn't like the Clique. Bam Bam Bigelow didn't like the Clique. Bret didn't like the Clique. Like, man, didn't nobody like the Clique. Didn't nobody like this. The Clique was Shawn Michaels, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, 1, 2, 3 Kid, and of course, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. The Clique ran the company in the 90s, man. And, it was either their way or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But let's get into it. Shawn Michaels returned as a fan favorite in May of 1995. He defeated Jeff Jarrett for his third Intercontinental title reign. This led to a title defense, the rematch, with Razor Ramon August 27th at SummerSlam in 1995 in the ladder match, which had the trash ass main event with Diesel and Mabel. I'm sorry. Now that I think about it, it wasn't even Kevin Nash fault, bro. It just, Mabel wasn't still working. And they had weird matches too. They had Bret Hart versus Isaac Yankem. They had the casting match with Kama. Yeah, it was tough. The business was tough at the time, but whatever. So, at SummerSlam in 1995, they had the second ladder match with Shawn Michaels won. So around this time, Michaels became the leader of the group called the Clique. Critics perceived the group as significant clout over WWF owner Vince McMahon. They was running Vince, becoming the dominant wrestling figures in WWF for several years in the mid-90s, causing friction with other wrestlers. See, you know what I'm saying? Michaels disputed their perception, saying that Vince pushed only deserving wrestlers. Michaels' fan base was later nicknamed the Clique as an inside reference as the real Clique. You know what I'm saying? On October 5th, Shawn Michaels was a victim of a legal assault outside of Syracuse, New York. I think he had a fight with some Marines or something. Due to not being able to compete, Michaels was forced to forfeit the Intercontinental Championship to the original opponent, Dean Douglas, on October 22nd at In Your House, Great White North. Who in turn, Douglas lost the championship to Razor Ramon, another member of the Clique, during a match with Owen Hart on November episode of Raw. Hart performed an insecurity that struck Michaels in the back of the head. They continued the match, but Michaels collapsed in the ring, supposedly because Michael had suffered a concussion. The concussion was scripted, which was kept from the most fans at the time. A retirement angle was written so that Michael could take some time off and come back from his and he came back from his injury too soon. Then of course, my bad. But you got him and Bret issues in the mid late 90s era. This when the beef got real. Controversy. Everybody was tired of Shawn crap. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he wasn't even taking Vince crap. Let's get to it. After teasing a retirement, Michaels returned to the WWF at the Royal Rumble on January 21st, 1996. Winning the Royal Rumble 2 years in a row. And he get a shot at the WWF title at WrestleMania 12. Around this time, Jose Lothario became Michael's on-screen manager. They said Shawn was ass on him too. You know what I'm saying? Like, Shawn just had no chill and he didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? He was gangster. That was him and Brock Lesnar, the two most gangster wrestlers that stand up to Vince, bro. They didn't want to hear that crap. But at WrestleMania 12, March 31st, Michaels defeated WWF champion Bret Hart in the overtime their 60-minute Iron Man match, which had the score of this tie. But so this was time I think Bret Hart didn't even like Shawn Michaels being the champion because he felt like Bret Hart he felt like shit. Shawn was gonna get because I think if y'all watch the DVD with Jim Ross and him, he feel like Michael was just gonna put over all his friends. You know what I'm saying? There would have been X-Pac, Razor Ramon, Scott Hall, and Triple H. You know what I'm saying? But I think Bret Hart had said at one point, which I'm gonna mention, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash had left. You know what I'm saying? And that threw off all their plans of '96. You feel me? So yeah, on March 19th, Michaels and his fellow Clique members was involved in an incident called the Curtain Call, which, y'all remember the Curtain Call? It was Diesel, Diesel and Razor Ramon was about to leave, and they were to join WCW. But after Michaels won the match against Diesel, Razor Ramon and Hurt Hensley came into the ring and joined Michaels and Diesel in a group hug. So, as Diesel and Hemmings were seen as villains at the time, I'm glad I ain't got to explain it. They was villains. In contrast, Michaels and Ramon was babyface, so they had broke kayfabe. You know what I'm saying? Acting out of character, which was rare at a controversial time, because they were trying to protect the business. You know what I'm saying? And I think Triple H said, he took the punishment for everybody. You gotta think about it. Scott Hall, Kevin Nash left. Vince could have punished Shawn if he wanted to. He needed a start. But so Diesel, Scott Hall left. Let me see. Shawn was the champion, so Triple H had to take all their punishment. You know what I'm saying? So, there you go. So, with that being said, as WCW had gained momentum from Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, Shawn Michaels had the championship most of the year until Survivor Series when he lost to Sid Vicious, but he recaptured at the 1997 Royal Rumble. Now this one I knew Shawn was full of crap right here. On the special episode Raw Dub the Thursday Night Raw, Michaels had vacated the championship. He explained to fans that he was informed by the doctors that he suffered a knee injury. But Michaels contemplated thoughts of retirement and stated he lost his smile. He had to find his smile again because he lost it somewhere down the line. But after consulting Dr. James Andrews, who concluded that he did not need surgery, Michaels went under a 4 weeks physical therapy and returned to the ring a few months later, briefly teaming up with Stone Cold Steve Austin, winning the championships. Michaels discussed his real-life feud with Bret, claiming that Hart did interviews on live television that Michaels was fakely injured all the time. So if you remember, Bret and Shawn were supposed to meet at WrestleMania 13, Michaels was supposed to return the favor, but he lost his smile. And at that point, him and the issues with Bret was personal. If you look up the 1997 promos from whenever Shawn returned until Bret left, some of them promos was real. You know what I'm saying? At that point, it was a boiling point that their relationship was at a point of no return. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta look at it like that. You know what I mean? Oh, shit. Damn. If you watching, girl, she know what I'm talking about. You was right. I should have just did it from the laptop. It's pretty cool. So I want to thank you. Hey, I hope you're doing good in Arizona. I love you. I miss you. All right. My bad, y'all. You know, nigga going through breakups and shit, but it's gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? And shit. I want the man for it. I didn't deliver. You know what I'm saying? But my heart still go out to it. You feel me? All right. Here we go. It's okay, player. Keep your head up. That's why I'm grinding right now. I'm in grind mode. You feel me? Because I feel like I'm in rock bottom. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just continue to grind, and give y'all content till the world stop. You hear me? I love y'all. But back to this. By the spring of 1997, the real life backstage conflict between Michaels was reaching its height. Both men going out on television, frequently making it personal, true to the heart remarks about one another. Shawn Michaels left the WWF in June after a real backstage fight. Hart just hours before Raw's War, which was allegedly resulted from Michaels making, Richard, I mentioned in the episode, Richard making a remark about Sunny Days, implying that Hart, who was married at the time, was having an affair with Sunny. But let's be real, like I said, Shawn Michaels had an affair with Sunny, and Sunny said in the interview that she was smashing him and Bulldog, and Shawn Michaels didn't like that. Shout out to Chris Candido, poor him, man. R.I.P., bro. Yeah, so, they having an affair. A manager in Valet who signed to the WWF as Sunny, you know what I'm saying? Michaels and Austin were still WWF Tag Team Champions during the feud with the Hart Foundation. In a tournament which was made to decide a new tag team champion. Shawn Michaels eventually returned that summer in July at SummerSlam on August 3rd. Shawn Michaels officiated the WWF Championship between Undertaker and Bret Hart, which Bret Hart was pissed. Y'all remember the shoot interview, the shoot thing. The match ended in controversy with Michaels hitting the Undertaker with a chair unintentionally, aiming for Bret Hart after Bret Hart had spit in his face. Michaels was then forced to award the championship to Bret Hart. The next night, on Monday Night Raw, signs of a heel turn started to show as Michaels told the WWF fans what happened. SummerSlam was an accident that he dealt with the Undertaker when the time came. And of course, he had the controversy of one night only, you know what I'm saying? So they were finna originally put Bulldog over, but Shawn Michaels wasn't having it at the time. I think Bulldog's sister had cancer and she was finna pay us or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, alright, cool. At WWF One Night Only, September 20th, Shawn Michaels defeated the British Bulldog to capture the European title. He was, I think he became a Grand Slam champion, right? The fans at the event were so upset, they booted Michaels out the building, extended they littered the ring with garbage, cementing his second heel turn with this win. Michaels became the first Grand Slam champion. Then, of course, at In Your House Bad Blood, Michaels defeated The Undertaker in the first Hell in a Cell match. During the match, Michaels fell off the side of the 5-meter, 15-foot high structure through a table. You know what I'm saying? In the fall, Michaels joined forces with real life friend Hunter S. Lynch. So this one Triple H was off punishment. He went through the storm. He went through everything he needed to go through. You know what I'm saying? And Triple H. This when Triple H became him, the real him, because he was spitting bars at Vince too on promos. You feel me? Let's get it. So they had joined forces with Triple H's girlfriend China and my main man Rick Rude, and they formed a stable D-Generation X. They continued to feud with Bret Hart in the Hart Foundation, which was now pro-Canada stable. Michaels taunted the group and Canada by engaging in such acts as blowing his nose with blowing the nose with the flower. Blowing his nose against the Canadian flag, humping and blowing his nose. Michaels later claimed that flag desecration was Hart idea. Michaels' feud with Hart culminated in Survivor Series against Hart. Michaels came out of the match dubbed by fans as the Montreal Screwdrivers WWE champion. I ain't gotta explain it. Go watch the damn episode with Michaels versus Bret Hart. It went down. Michaels had now held both WWE Championship and the European title at the same time, but he dropped the European title to Triple H with a fake finish. You know what I'm saying? Then of course, right here, you know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna read the Royal Rumble part. I don't even care about the other part. So on January 28th, January 18, 1998, the Royal Rumble, in a casket match against Undertaker. Michael had took a backdrop outside of the ring and hit his lower back on the casket, causing him to have and hurt it 2 discs and crushed 1 completely. Michaels went on to win the match, but the injury had re-endured and he was unable to compete on the next following month. It would be Shawn Michaels in that 8-man tag. You know what I'm saying? So, he faced Stone Cold and he lost the belt in 1998. You know what I'm saying? He was forced to retire. And of course, during this short time, he became a commissioner, and during that time, he refereed the Iron Man match and stuff like this. So his career was pretty much over, but at the same time, Mike was on them drugs and all that too. You know what I'm saying? So at that time, he was just going through it. You feel me? So, and I think he was retired for about 4 years. You know what I'm saying? And of course, he did help Triple H win the WWE title on the first SmackDown with the controversial Superman kick. And of course, he was the special guest referee for the Iron Man match. You feel me? So, you know what I'm saying? He went through a lot, and he was trying to read this one. I think there was a time he was trying to get his life together. I think he said one time, I think he was high as hell in front of his son, and his son was 4 years old at the time. You feel me? And he had to get his life right. You know what I'm saying? And there's a touching story. He found God. You know what I'm saying? And he did all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, though I said, man, like, it's cool to redeem yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? When you done stuff and, you know what I'm saying, you done a lot of people wrong and stuff like that, man. First you gotta get through the punishment. You gotta do all that, you feel me? But you gotta go through it, you know what I'm saying? And you just gotta go through it and shit. Just like right now, I'm going through it and I'm okay with it. Back then I'd be like, why I'm doing this and all that, but like I said, I can confess my life out here right now. I don't care who watching. Shit. I didn't deliver in a relationship. I didn't deliver with God. I didn't put God in our relationship. So I dropped the ball. You know what I'm saying? So that's why there's a lot of things I'm trying to do right now is important, and it's just for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love my family, I love my friends, but I gotta do this for me. Hell, I still love her. You know what I'm saying? Because, shit, that was a good woman and just shit, I fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay to say you fucked up, you know what I mean? So, it's just like shit, and you gotta understand too, in that situation I was in, that was my best friend. That's still my best friend. You know what I'm saying? Because we went through a lot together, you feel me? And shit, niggas mess up every day. Like, I'm gonna get back to this in just a second. This is I gotta give y'all a free game. It was so funny. My dad came over and I was talking to him, and he was like, hey son, shit, hey man. Now he was on the phone. He was like, hey son, I'm here, bro. Hey, look, you got your team, she got her team. Hey, we here. He said, look, don't beat yourself up, man. We here, bro. We all done messed up. Hell, I done messed up. So, if you believe in the word and pray and, you know what I'm saying, do what you gotta do to redeem yourself, you're gonna be alright. Oh, but back to this. And of course, during that time he had a wrestling school, you know what I'm saying? That when Daniel Bryan trained, you feel me? So Sean was going through a lot. So by the time he returned in 2002, he was a new version, new improved. He want the asshole, he want none of it. Oh, this gonna be another long episode. I gotta eat it, but it's okay. So on the episode of June 3rd, 2002, on the episode of Raw, Michaels returned after 18 months of absence when Kevin Nash announced him as the new member of the New World Order. Michaels was the only NWO member to have not worked in WCW. After the NWO had disbanded, Triple H appeared to make amends with Michaels. This was solidified as Michaels pleaded to Triple H to return to Raw, because Triple H was a free agent or something at the time. I think Stephanie was a GM and Eric Bischoff. Later on, they had sprayed their DX music attire. When the Pearls about to perform, let's get rid of the sucker. They were able to do that. Wham! Drop Shawn ass. That continued the angle in his first WWE match since WrestleMania 14. So Michaels, this one, the lead up to that, I think y'all remember when Triple H assaulted Shawn Michaels, but like he didn't do it, and they had set up the match at SummerSlam. Michaels defeated Triple H at SummerSlam on August 25th. Like, that was after my 14th birthday. But I miss being a teenager sometimes. I'm sorry, I'm 37, y'all. But was attacked by Triple H with a sledgehammer after the match. Then, of course, at Survivor Series, November 17th, Michaels won the Heavyweight Championship from Triple H in the first Elimination Chamber. They won Triple H wrestled with a bruised throat, too. You know, it's after Rob Van Dam hit the fog splash and hit him in the throat. On December 15th, at Armageddon, he lost the championship to Triple H in a 3-stage Hell match. Then because Shawn didn't like being on the road. Then, of course, Michaels then began a rivalry with Chris Jericho after Jericho claimed that he was the next Shawn Michaels on January 13, 2003 on the episode of Raw. Jericho won a battle royal to secretly select his entry number for the Royal Rumble, choosing number 2 to order to start the match with Michaels, who had already been named number 1 at the Royal Rumble match. Jericho, with the help of Christian, eliminated Michaels. Michaels later on interfered the match, causing Jericho to be eliminated. Then, of course, Shawn Michaels defeated Chris Jericho at WrestleMania 19, but was low blow after hugging Chris Jericho. At Backlash, Michaels lost to the team of Jericho, Triple H, and Ric Flair in a 6-man tag. This led the match between Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels at Bad Blood, June 15, which Flair won. Following the match, Michaels started feuding with the members of Triple H faction Evolution. He was unsuccessfully capturing the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam August 24th. Damn, I had time for your team. With Triple H retaining in the second Elimination Chamber match, he then lost to Randy Orton at Unforgiven September 21st. At Armageddon, Michaels defeated the group enforcer Batista. Then, of course, on December 29th on the episode, Michaels seemingly defeated Triple H with Sweet Chin Music for the World Heavyweight Championship in his hometown, with Eric Bischoff as the special guest referee. Earl Hebner was originally the referee, only to be knocked out by Triple H in the middle of the match. Bischoff reversed the decision due to both men's shoulders being on the mat. Angered by this, Michaels attacked Ric Flair and Eric Bischoff. He was fired by Eric Bischoff, but retired by Stone Cold. So during this time, WrestleMania, y'all know, 20, Chris Benoit won the Royal Rumble. You know, he came out and Shawn Michaels forced his way into the match, you feel me? As an ongoing feud with Triple H, alongside Chris Benoit in the main event on 14 at WrestleMania 20 for the World Heavyweight Championship, which Benoit won. But the night before, Michaels inducted Tito Santana into the Hall of Fame. A triple threat rematch took place April 18th at Backlash, where Benoit retained the title, forcing Shawn Michaels to tap out to the sharpshooter. Due to the screwjob incident in Edmonton, the crowd booed Michaels with chants, "You screwed Bret, you screwed Bret, you screwed Bret," being heard during the match at Backlash. Bad Blood on June 13th, Michaels lost to Triple H in the longest Hell in a Cell match in history. 4 months later, he lost the World Heavyweight Championship against Triple H after Edge interfered on October 19th at Taboo Tuesday. The fans voted ahead of Edge, Chris Benoit, and Shawn Michaels to face Triple H one more time. Following this, Michaels was out of action for a few months legit. Then of course, crap. But whew, I love y'all, man. Alright. 2005 DX reunion. Alright. So at the Royal Rumble, January 3rd, 2005. After losing to Edge, Michaels competed in a Royal Rumble match, was eliminated by Kurt, or "I'm just a sexy Kurt," all that. In Secret Revenge, Angle re-entered and eliminated Michaels, thus placed him in the ankle lock outside the ring. Michaels issued the Angle for WrestleMania. No, he challenged Kurt Angle for a match at WrestleMania 21, which Kurt Angle accepted. When he appeared on Raw to attack Michaels. The following week, Marty Jannetty and Michaels. This when Marty and Shawn Michaels had matured, you know what I'm saying, as men and squashed the beef, you know what I'm saying. And there you go. I think it was a phone call or something, you know what I'm saying. So Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty had that one-time reunion, defeated Lance Resistance, Rob Conway, and Severe Gagne. 3 days later, Kurt Angle had a great match against Marty Jannetty, actually. Kurt Angle defeated Jannetty after Kurt Angle made Jannetty tap in the ankle lock to send a message to Michaels. Angle mutilated Michaels' former manager, Sherry, and put the ankle lock. You know, that's when they sung the song, you know, "I'm just a sexy Kurt," all that. "I make your ankles hurt." You know, I'm putting it right here anyway. But at WrestleMania, Kurt Angle defeated Shawn Michaels in the ankle lock. You know what I'm saying? So the next night on Raw, Muhammad Hassan and Shawn Michaels confronted and assaulted Michaels on the April 11th episode. Michaels approached GM manager Eric Bischoff, which demanded a handicap match. But Bischoff refused to schedule the match, instead told Michaels to find a partner. So of course, Shawn Michaels made a plea to Hulk Hogan to come back and team with him. And on the April 18th episode of Raw, Hassan again led an attack on Michaels until Hulk Hogan appeared and made the save. Then of course, they had the match, Shawn Michaels against Muhammad Hassan and Daivari. And of course, you know he went on later on to face Hogan. If y'all know, go watch the SummerSlam episode. God damn. Watch my stuff. Watch my content. But later in the WrestleMania rematch, Shawn Michaels defeated Kurt Angle, who was drafted to Raw on June 26th at Vengeance. On July 4th of Raw, after defeating Kurt Angle and Carlito, Michaels hit Hogan with the sweet chin music, and all he had to do was ask. Damn. Alright, fit. So, Shawn Michaels had turned heel. You know what I'm saying? The following week, he appeared on Piper's Pit. And hell, he super kicked Roddy Piper over the ass. Then, of course, he challenged Hulk Hogan to a match at SummerSlam. We all know, like I said, go watch the episode. Not to put all that on here. But you can watch the episode, the previous episode. It's the SummerSlam episode. It'll be 105, 103, I don't know. But I record a lot. But, so he challenged Hulk Hogan in SummerSlam. He went on, he defeated Hulk Hogan, had defeated. After the match, Michaels extended his saying, "I needed to know, and I found out," and they shook hands. I don't even think they liked each other during this time, too. You know what I'm saying? I think Jericho said he didn't even like Hogan because of Hogan politics. But after the match, after that, Michaels left the ring to allow Hogan to celebrate the crowd turning face once again. He became the first person to cleanly defeat Chris Masters at September 18th at Unforgiven with the Sweet Chin music. Then, of course, the series was tied between him and Kurt Angle. It was 1-1. So, at October 3rd, WWE Homecoming on episode of Raw, he wrestled Kurt Angle to a 2-2 draw in a 30-minute Iron Man match. He challenged Kurt Angle in sudden death, but Angle refused and walked out. I thought he won. Okay. Then of course he was a part of Team Raw on Survivor Series November 27th, but lost to Team SmackDown. But on December 26th, on the episode of Raw, Vince McMahon lauded Michaels for his part of the screw job. So that's when him and Vince was setting a big angle. Michaels said he was only being loyal to his company. He had moved on, and Vince should move on as well. Then began unusual stipulations for Michaels interfering on behalf of Michaels' opponents. So on January 29, 2006, McMahon made his way to the ring as Michaels started at McMahon's, stared at McMahon. Shane McMahon made a surprise appearance to eliminate Michaels. You know what I'm saying? So on the February 13th episode of Raw, McMahon unsuccessfully forced Michaels to sign retirement papers. The following week, Michaels won a handicap match against the Spirit Squad, after which Michaels' former partner Marty Jannetty made the save from him by being assaulted by the Spirit Squad. After the two reunited, Vince McMahon offered Marty Jannetty to kiss his ass. I'm sorry, bro. I don't want no man licking my booty, bro. That's whack. Trash. Hell no. That ain't it. Just saying. It's just certain things I can't get paid for, bro. You feel? The following week, Jannetty refused McMahon offer and instead, took Chris Masters' Master Lock Challenge. Michaels tried to help Jannetty, which untimely resulted Shane attacking Michaels, forcing him to kiss his father behind. On March 18th, Superstar main event, Shane defeated Michaels in a street fight after applied sharpshooter on Michaels, leading to McMahon ordering the bell to ring, though Michaels did not tap, alluding to the Montreal Screwjob. Despite the interference from the Spirit Squad, Shane McMahon, Michaels defeated McMahon on April 2nd in a no-holds-barred match. That's when, he put Vince, not that he put Shane, somebody kissed, I don't know what happened. It was weird, but whatever. So, this when they led to that weird God angle match. I ain't like that, bro. Stop playing with God, bro. I ain't like that, bro. Now that I look back on it, I'm like, that's weird, but okay. Alright, so leading to Michaels ordering for the bell to ring, all Kyrie read. Despite the interference from Spirit Squad, Shawn Michaels defeated Vince McMahon in a no-holds-barred match. At April 30th, the McMahons, Vince and Shane defeated Michaels and God with the help of the Spirit Squad in a no disqualification tag team match. On May 22nd, on the episode of Raw, Spirit Squad was scripted to injure Michaels' knee. The angle was so Michael can have surgery on his knee, which was legitimately real. You know what I'm saying? So, at Cyber Sunday, November 5th, DX, I'm sorry. In the series of events that took place suggest the reunion of DX, Michaels, and Triple H. They began at WrestleMania 27, where both Triple H and Shawn Michaels performed the crop chop during the matches. On Raw, the two continued to deliver chops as Michael feuded with McMahon, and Triple H challenged for John Cena for the WWE Championship, repeatedly butting heads with Vince McMahon in the process. On the June 12th episode of Raw, the DX reunion, DX officially reunited. During this reunion happened during the Triple H Gauntlet match, which he competed against the Spirit Squad. Shawn Michaels came in to help, and the two did the DX chop. So June 25th, in Vengeance, DX defeated the Spirit Squad in a 5-on-2 handicap match. They also defeated the Spirit Squad on July 15th, 5-on-2 elimination match. Then, of course, they had defeated the McMahons on August 20th. And then, of course, August 20th at SummerSlam, I'm sorry. And they defeated them in the Hell in a Cell match with the Big Show on September 17th. That was good times, bro. I ain't gonna cap. And I look at it. But, so, at Cyber Sunday, DX lost to Edge and Randy Orton. And the fans selected the referee, Eric Bischoff, that allowed a legal chair shot from Rey RKO. And they got the win. Applauded, beginning of the first tag team to defeat DX in a match since June 06. So November 26th is Survivor Series. Team DX emerged victorious in the RKO clean sweep. That's when Shawn Michaels, my funny as hell, that man super kick Mike Knox. Talking about who was he? Like, damn, man, that man disrespected it, man. Like, man, who that dude, bro? And of course, he had the infamous moment with Melina, so he put his arms around her, you know what I'm saying? Good times, bro. So, alright. So at New Year's Revolution, Triple H suffered a long torn quadricep during the match with Rey RKO. RKO reclaimed the victory over DX, saying that Triple H injured as the end of DX. On the January 15th, Michaels lived up to his word dealing with RKO from his comments the previous week before he took out Randy Orton with a concerto in the handicap match against him and Edge. Then, of course, he was the last one eliminated in the Great Royal Rumble. You know what I'm saying? Against Undertaker and 07. You know what I'm saying? I think Triple H said he was supposed to face Cena again, but he got hurt, so they gave it to Shawn. Okay, let me see what all we got left. I know you retired in 2010. And, yeah, I think that's it after that, guy. Because I don't do all the other stuff, man. Like, I just go by in ring, you feel me? All right, let's go. Yeah, this album this video right for an hour 15 minutes. All right. So on January 29th, on episode of Raw, Shawn Michaels captured the World Tag Team Championship with John Cena after defeating Rey RKO. At the time, at WrestleMania 23, John Cena retained the WWE Championship against Michaels after submitting the STFU. The next night, John Cena and Shawn Michaels competed in a back-to-back 10-team battle royal, winning the first and losing the World Tag Team Championships in the second one to the Hardys, Matt and Jeff, when Michaels threw Cena over the top rope. Michaels faced off with Cena, Edge, and Randy Orton in a fatal four-way for the WWE Championship, but Cena retained. Cena retained after Michaels performed the Sweet Chin music, causing him to fall on Orton. I'm surprised they ain't got the classic match they had on Raw before the match, because I think I'm happy it will be Edge versus Orton one-on-one, but whatever. Michaels then feuded with Randy Orton when Orton claimed that he could beat Michaels. The week before scheduled match on May 20th, Michaels won the match against then World Heavyweight Champion Edge. Orton attacked Michaels, punching him in the head. Orton assaulted Michaels again prior to the match at Judgment Day, interrupting Michaels' interview segment. Michaels collapsed during their match, causing Orton to win by referee stoppage. Orton continued beating and performing RKO on a fallen Shawn Michaels to remove him out of the ring on stretcher. During the feud, Michaels suffered a storyline concussion. The injury was used to keep Michaels out of action due to knee surgery. Michaels made his return on October 8th on the episode of Raw, performing the Sweet Chin music on newly crowned champion Randy Orton. During the ceremony at the end of the show, then celebrating over the knockout champion as Vince watched. On October 28th, September, Michaels was voted to face Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. He won by disqualification when Randy Orton hit Shawn Michaels with a low blow. You know what I'm saying? Which resulted in Orton retaining the championship. Michaels got another opportunity at the WWE Championship at the Survivor Series against Orton, but except the Sweet Chin music was banned upon Orton's request. referring to Michael's super kick, Randy Orton week after week. Michaels lost the match after when Orton performed an RKO to win the match to end their feud. Then of course, Shawn Michaels defeated Ric Flair in a career-threatening match in 2008. Afterwards, Batista confronted Michaels about his action, calling him selfish, egotistic. On August 28th, 27th, with Chris Jericho the special referee, Michaels defeated Batista. Jericho then confronted Michaels, in which he admitted faking the injury in order to defeat the Batista. I forgot this was the angle before SummerSlam, but I ain't gotta say this right here. Alright, let's get it. Jericho then confronted Michaels about the fake injury. Michaels defeated Jericho on May 18th at Judgment Day, but at one night stand on June 1st, Michaels lost to Batista in a stretcher match. On June 9th, Michaels was attacked by Chris Jericho during his talk segment, The Highlight Reel, being thrown through a television screen. The following week, it revealed that the context of the storyline that Michaels suffered a detach, some of his eye can't, you know what I'm saying? So, okay, I'm back, y'all. I had to make a little space from my phone and stuff like that, but let's get back to it. So Michaels, like I said, Michaels was attacked by Chris Jericho in his talk segment highlight reel, going through the screen, the eye injury, stuff like that. So at SummerSlam, Michaels announced August 17th, Michaels announced his retirement for professional wrestling. This the night Jericho had punched Shawn Michaels' wife in the face. On the August 25th episode of Raw, Michaels renounced his retirement and challenged Chris Jericho in an unsanctioned match at Unforgiven on September 7th. Jericho accepted the next week the contract signing for the match where they Raw caused a legit small tricep tear for Shawn Michaels. He was medically cleared to compete in Unforgiven and beat Jericho so severely that the referee had called a match, making Michaels the winner. Later that night, Chris Jericho replaced CM Punk in the World Heavyweight Championship scramble match and won the title. Shawn Michaels had competed in No Mercy when Shawn Michaels was defeated by Chris Jericho in the ladder match for the World Heavyweight Championship. In December, despite having lost his family savings due to the global recession, Michaels agreed to be employed by JBL. After failing to help JBL win the championship from John Cena on January 25, 2009 at the Royal Rumble, and being the ride for it, Michaels agreed to face JBL in an all-or-nothing match at No Way Out on February 15th, which Michaels won, being out his contract early, while still receiving Royal Appointment payment. So on March 2nd episode of Raw, Shawn Michaels became the first person to defeat Vladimir Kozlov, so he can earn the match with The Undertaker at WrestleMania 25 in the classic match where he lost to Undertaker at WrestleMania, extending the streak to 17 of them. That match was highly critically acclaimed by critics and alike none considered by many to be the one of the greatest. Then of course, Shawn Michaels had a program with Legacy doing, SummerSlam of 09, where they defeated Legacy. And of course they defeated Chris Jericho, them for the World Heavyweight Championship, for the tag team titles. Then of course you gotta remember, him and Bret squashed the beef, DX lost the tag team championships to the Miz and Big Show during that time. And of course he cost the Undertaker the match at Elimination Chamber, which led to their rematch at WrestleMania. And he put his career on the line on the street. So that's it for this episode, guys. And of course, he went to the Hall of Fame the next year, thanks to the Click and all that. He running NXT and stuff like that. So, my boy overcame a lot, and he did it. But with that being said, y'all, hey man, continue. The grind real. So I love y'all and I appreciate y'all, and please keep God first, man. And plus, fellas, stop beating yourself up. We all make mistakes. I love y'all, and I'm out. Peace.
Nathan Beats.